This exercise is about using elements from the landscape. So with this exercise, we are just going to use some rocks, some branches, and we are focusing on layering, making lovely transparent layers, because transparency is one of its greatest strengths from watercolor. I've made many works like that in the past, and that's one of them. It's basically falling leaves and lots of little shapes painted on top of each other. So I am going to take you through an exercise today, step by step, how we can make nice, transparent and clear layers. So once you have all your materials ready, you've got your rocks and branches, pick up your largest rock and start placing it sort of randomly on paper. I basically traced it with a pencil, and once you've done one shape, rotate it and move it along on a page. And you continue doing so until you've got about 8 shapes on paper. So I picked up a medium-sized brush, and all I have to do is put a flat wash, and I use my outlines and fill in those shapes. But I work with water, so this is just water. So it's a mixture of working with paint and water. So what I'll do next is I'll continue, but I can't do this one. But I can do this one, otherwise they blend. So I've mixed my color. It took me 2 goes to get it to the right color and strength. And now you can just overlap the other colors, but this needs to be dry. Perfectly dry. And then we repeat the process where we paint in the other rocks. So I've painted 2 layers. I'm going to do one more with this rock. So we've completed step 3, and if you have done your painting well, you should be able to see through every layer. So our last step for using our rocks is using a smaller rock. You can use the same one as well, but I've picked a smaller one because I'd like to paint this shape a little bit darker. Okay, time to use our branches. So I've picked a branch and it's quite long, and I'm just going to use it like that, and I'm going to flip it over, and I'm also going to do that on that side. So again, I can just trace it. What I can do is just trace it on one line and give it a little bit of character, because the branch is sort of straight, but it's got lovely details to it. Yeah, so once I've done one side, I basically can do the other side like that. And use a 2H pencil for this, or HB, but keep it a little bit lighter. Okay, so I've mixed a color that I was inspired by the branch. So it's slightly brown, and I've used a yellow ochre, I've used pink, and I've used a touch of Payne's grey to get that color. And what I'll do is I'll basically color in every little shape that I've drawn. So this should be our last step, and I've picked up my branch again and I'm placing it in such a way that it overlaps the other branches nicely. So my last stage, I've mixed a colour that is almost a dark brown. So I've used the Payne's Grey, the Sepia, and still a little bit of the ochre and some pink to get to a reasonably dark colour.